Donald Trump made some interesting statements on 60 Minutes very recently when he said, "Stop it," in response to the widespread facts of post-election hate crimes, in which there are many reports when you start looking across the nation. And it's actually very sad to see high schoolers caught up in all this, not really with an independent thought of their own, but repeating talking points that they have been exposed to by their parents, for example. I saw this in middle school. My dad said Ted Dukakis is going to start a war, so we have to vote in George Bush. I actually remember this statement being made. And at that time, at a young age, I recognized the power of the media and things of that nature. I didn't really have the whole picture yet, but I was kind of aware of what was going on. Well, today, a lot of people in this post-election reality think that they have the right to put other people in fear that they don't like, to the point where Donald Trump on 60 Minutes said, "Stop it." Of course, it's a joke. It's a joke to think about Donald Trump actually saying "stop it" and meaning it, and even the words that he used. And if we look at what was happening before Donald Trump said that, aspects of the alt-right media were saying that CNN was fabricating the stories. So there's a story about a Muslim woman who received some sort of a note from her student, and I believe it may have been in Georgia, I'm not sure, potentially Michigan. And it's like, we're in charge now, okay? It's time for this to end. Your time to wear the hijab. I want to know why so many white men are so concerned with this removing of the hijab. It's like really something more sinister behind it, because liberating women are the last thing on their mind. Or helping raise awareness, anything whatsoever. There's almost something very passive sexual about it, really. And that's ultimately how I feel about this whole thing. It's very perverted when you look at this from another perspective. See, it's like a lot of people are possessed by evil spirits that think they have the right to walk up on someone, like a gang of them, and start choking them with a hijab, or say this isn't allowed anymore. Donald Trump is the president. And then you have other people that support Donald Trump that don't recognize that we haven't seen this type of behavior before. These are not Clinton plants. These are real people. There are people on my channel. I will now report it. A couple days ago, somebody says, yeah, it's only a matter of time before we start getting rid of you Jews and subhumans. And there's a lot of Jewish hate. And I've talked about my heritage on my father's side in the Middle East, which is anything but Jew. But there are people that see my appearance, and it is an appearance that bears various genetic lines. And for some reason, there is something about the dark side that ultimately hates that. And it's channeling through certain human beings at this time. You can see it in the comment section. And it didn't start with the election of Donald Trump. It really has been around for some time, but we really noticed it about a year ago with really the explosion of the fake news bomb that went off, the fake Islamic invasion. And then everything became very racial. And then we saw Alex Jones doing, caricatures. I rape you, white woman. I tear off your fucking, I rape you because I'm Muslim. I'm Middle Eastern. And then it was from that act alone, those several seconds, that Alex Jones really showed that he was operating on the dark side. When you start marginalizing whole groups of people, you're walking on the dark side. This whole thing has been entrapping the souls of those people in this country that have been so disenfranchised and so afraid that they are taking advantage of the fact that they really don't know what's going on and what's going on with the New World Order and the New World Order plan to expand its genocide in the Middle East, using Donald Trump, using Russia, using Saudi Arabia, and noticing how there's an alliance forming between Russia and Trump and Saudi Arabia, now calling the presidency of Donald Trump brilliant. It's because they were playing an act before Donald Trump was elected. That was their role. They all had a script. And I said they had a script to act as if the establishment hated Trump and wanted Clinton to be in power. And then the bait and switch. And now we are in transition of the bait and switch. And there are people in this country that are possessed by some kind of evil. We are seeing many stories popping up. It's not happening everywhere. I'm not saying this is Armageddon. I believe that some of these periods, some of these waves of violence happen in waves, that they're cyclical. I've talked in other podcasts and videos about effects of the full moon and solar flares in particular. And we just so happen to have gone through a massive full moon phase, the closest the moon will be to the earth until 2034. It's the closest it's been in 70 years. The next one's 2034 that will be this close, about 221,000 miles away from the moon. What type of potential supernatural effect has this had on everything? Okay, because some of those reports seem demonically inspired. You know, a group of men surrounding some girl with a hijab and say, "Your time is over. It is time for you to leave now." Donald Trump and the president. This is not political. This is demonic. This is demonic. This is not political. This is not a politically motivated action. These are demonically inspired young men that have the Archon light shining within them. Absolutely. Full moon, geomagnetic storm, post-staged election, and all this other energy, post-Halloween energy on top of it. All this fear on top of it. Yeah, there's something really dark behind this mindset. And what's important for people to understand is that enough signs have been sent by the Donald and perhaps other means. Mind control, for example, because we may be dealing with people that have been put under a spell. Sleeper agents, if you will. It literally is getting that insane. There's no reason why someone that supported Ron Paul years ago would support Donald Trump unless there's some sort of power of suggestion taking place with technology. I know it sounds crazy, but some of you understand what hypnosis is and what is capable without technology. And, what was shown years ago. It's like, listen to the sound of my voice, okay? In 5, you're going to awaken. In 5, 4, all this we knew about this years ago. This existed long before I was born. And perhaps there are ancient methods of hypnosis that we are not familiar with. But enter the digital spectrum, and we see how they had the phenomena around Obama, and it seemed unnatural then. But really, all Obama had to do was walk in and not be Bush, not be a dickhead, be somewhat charismatic, sound a lot more intelligent, being a fair-skinned black guy, but not really black, didn't really hurt things either. Kind of really, made things, wasn't too black, certainly wasn't white. He was like, yes, change we can believe in. And we see how that worked. And we sat there with shock and went, oh my God, how can this be? And now we have the Donald. We have, for the first time in many years, I don't know what, we'd have to go back to maybe the 30s or 40s and see Nazi Germany perhaps endorsing U.S. presidents. We have to go all the way back perhaps to that period. But to see like the KKK, white supremacist groups, endorsing a political president, when does that happen in a regular society? When does that happen before within our society? Ultimately, this is being done to hurt white Americans. I keep coming back to this. Ultimately, this is being done to destroy America. Ultimately, Donald Trump is a puppet of the New World Order. And Donald Trump will do certain things that will turn the world against the United States. This will lead to world war. It may not happen on Trump's watch. He will leave the next president, be it female, be it male, be it Clinton, be it another puppet, with a crisis that they will inherit, as Trump inherits the crisis left by Obama. This election was about dividing people. This election was about making it look like Hillary had some sort of compassion for immigrants. On top of it, when that could be further from the truth. Saying that people that question 9/11 have a black heart. So we look how dumbed down the Trump trolls are, that think that my message is that of one similar to that of someone supporting Clinton. Not when Clinton says that those that question 9/11 have a black heart. When she did that, when she sinned against the truth. She was giving Alex Jones, for example, when she dropped his name, as well as Obama, millions of dollars in free advertising. Name dropping is very, very powerful. And when you name drop your media opponent, the media platform that is supposedly exposing what you're doing, I mean, that is huge. It's actually difficult to actually put a monetary figure on it. It's in the multi-million, perhaps billions. That shows the power. Of course, it's an illusion of power, but power within this world that Alex Jones holds, especially now with his connection to Donald Trump and Donald Trump's selection. It's actually a very scary thought. I, Alex Ansary, am warning you about this massive deception that is all about entrapping souls. And you should study and report back on the specifics with regards to what Alex Jones is doing to mindwash, to brainwash, to infect, to contaminate the spirits and souls of his audience. Because we should help people. At the very end of the day, you don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Muslim. You don't have to, I don't fall under any. I find it funny when people ask me if I'm a Muslim or if I'm a Christian or this, that, and the other. Because they want me to be what they want me to be. But all I am is myself. And I am a human being. Part of my life message is an experience here is to tell you we need to help these people escape this matrix and see beyond these illusions of separation. Maybe you've heard me talk about illusions of separation for years and years before these things were even happening. And maybe you were wondering, well, what does he really mean by that? And it actually means something bigger than what I'm actually even verbalizing. It's not just racial. It's thinking you're not affected by the people over there. So you're not affected by the past generations. It could be someone thinking that future generations aren't affected by what we do right now. By thinking that there isn't a karmic connection between the past, present, and future. And this string of souls that are all caught up in this. It's all the illusions of separation. We are all connected. And we are all affected by what's going down. By what's about to happen. There's a reason why some people are naturally going to be upset with the Donald Trump presidency. And it's wrong for certain people to attack and marginalize all of those as a radical left without giving them the freedom to have an independent thought. I'm going to come back to this truth and many, many more. Share this video with your friends and family. If you support this message, visit alexansary.tv and donate today. I'm Alex Ansary signing off for November 15th, 2016.